So let's jump in. Basically over the last 3 weeks, okay, and I'll go over my activity with you now, and there's no decent way to filter this, other than going onto sales and looking from me to someone else, is the best way of doing it essentially. So I'm just gonna scroll all the way to the bottom here. Where are we at? Okay, so 22 days ago, right? So you can see these sales are to me. So these are purchases, right? So I've managed to purchase this Visitors of Imadigan, which is called a Void acronym. And these guys are basically avatars for a metaverse. And when I was looking around and shopping around on Opensea and other projects that I could mint NFTs that would pull through to Opensea, I really liked these avatars. They looked really appealing to me. I thought that they were really cool. And on the avatars, these were all sold at the time. The only way you could get them was a secondary market. And if we open up this now, we pull through. So they've got 10k NFTs. There is 2,100 owners, and the floor price is 0.09 ETH. And the traded volume is 1,000 ETH. Okay, and yeah, you can scroll through and you can check all these NFTs here. So what I did, I think the floor price was higher at the time. It was 0.12 or something. I think they had part of the roadmap was if you own 3, then you could get airdropped another NFT or something like that. So I think the floor price was being scraped up because people wanted that other NFT, right? So what I did is I just went and filtered sort of buy now and sorted it low to high, and I just went through. First of all, I went through and I just identified one that I liked the look of. Obviously started from the bottom and worked my way up. So originally I started with 0.86 ETH. Okay, guys. And I managed to turn over the last 3 weeks 9 ETH, which is on the current rate is $28,000. So I've got 0.54 ETH in my account right now, I think. Yeah, 0.53 in my account right now, and I have 111 NFTs to sell. Okay, so yeah, stay with me. So I identified a NFT I liked, and then I clicked on it. And the first thing you'll notice is obviously the price. You can see how many views it's got and likes. That's always a good sign. If it's got lots of views and lots of likes and the price is decent, then it means that quite a lot of people have viewed it. Maybe someone's been spamming it around on socials. Maybe it's just really aesthetically pleasing and people like that NFT. Or maybe it's been listed at floor price for a while and people contemplating buying it themselves. But the main thing on these NFTs are the properties, right? So you've got all of these different properties, and this is what sets aside Ethereum NFTs to a lot of other NFTs right now, is they're randomly generated with different traits, and these traits are what pull through the rarity. So the rarer the traits, and with a lot of cases, it's the least amount of traits that make the rarest NFTs. And then once all 10,000 are minted, you've got all of the traits and sort of the properties pulled through, and then you're able to identify which ones are really worth money. So I identified, if we go back to my guy, I identified this dude because he was gold, right? So if we go onto his properties, and we can see that his skin is gold. If I click that, I am now filtering all of the void with gold skin, and I was simply able to go low to high, buy now. And this tells me how many is for sale in total, so 115, and the floor price is 0.149. So at the time, I can't remember exactly how much I bought it for now. I think it was 0.4 or something, 0.14. I can't remember exactly how much I bought it for now. We're checking a sec, but I think it was around 0.14. But the thing that I noticed that really stood out to me at the time was the jump from that one that I purchased to the next one up was almost 0.1. So I thought for sure that was a good investment. And I knew that people were buying up free because they wanted the airdropped NFT. So I did a little bit of research, and it really paid off. So if I go back now to... Bear with me. So yeah, so I purchased it at 0.17 and I sold it, how many days later? 5 days later for 0.34. So I essentially doubled my money in 5 days. And that was like the first bit of decent action that I had on OpenSea. And then from that, it's sort of, okay, you can do this. You can just do a bit of research, keep an eye on the floor prices of projects, and you can actually find yourself some profitable gains. Okay, so the next thing I did after I made that first purchase was I minted these reckless whales. Right now they're not doing that great, but I'm still glad I brought them. I learned a lot. So I brought those through a website and I minted them. So I minted them on the website and then they pulled through to OpenSea, which we'll go over in a minute. I got an offer. So you see these ones here, these are wrapped ETH. So you get a lot of offers, mainly bot offers, which we'll go over in a minute as well. But these wrapped ETH offers come pouring in if the project's sought after. So I had this offer of 0.1 when I first minted the reckless whales, and he's quite a rare whale, so I didn't accept it. But then after a couple of days, when I realized the market was quite stagnant and they weren't really going anywhere, that offer was still available, so I took it because I wanted that 0.1 ETH back. I also minted one of these baked bears, which did not do well at all, so I sold that under mint price. And then I minted these lonely aliens, which are doing okay. I think they were 0.04 to mint, so it was over triple my investment to sell that one. So I did that. And then these gizmo bots as well. I broke even on that one just because I was trying to build up some ETH because there was other projects that were dropping soon that I was interested in. And then once I had all of this ETH built up, I went ham on Crazy Lizard and Kongs as well. And I managed to sell this Crazy Lizard for 0.5 ETH 8 days ago. And that was when something twigged inside and I was like, okay, there is a lot of money to be made here. This is a new project and I'm going to open this in a new tab because I'm pretty sure. Okay, so 0.5 and he's got bids of 0.8 now. So I could have held on to that for longer. And I was actually out for dinner with my missus when I got the email that came through and said, congratulations, your item's been sold. I was like, cool, I've sold an item. I did not expect this guy to sell at half an ETH. When I listed it, it was kind of a bit of a joke. And when he sold, I was so sad because he looks pretty cool. And his properties are really good as well. That spacesuit, diamond, and golden gun are ridiculous. So yeah, I was sad to see him go. But that half an ETH enabled me to do so much more. I was able to invest that in more lizards and also some of these Kongs. I made some other purchases, so you can see that one was just gas fee. And then I got one of these poly eggs as well, which we're waiting to hatch still. And the floor price of that's gone up as well, so that was a good investment. And again, I listed it sort of for banter really, and it sold. So I managed to sell it for 1 ETH. I had these for 5 days. 5 days and only 2,000 out of 10,000 were minted. They haven't pulled through the attributes before. None of them were being brought or sold. And then all of a sudden, overnight, bang. So I sold it for 1 ETH. Again, I undersold this, but it enabled me to get that ETH and invest in other projects and buy other NFTs on mint price rather than floor price or, over the odds. And he managed to sell it on for 4.2. Okay, so again, I massively undersold this, but I did it to enable me to purchase other stuff. And if I knew it was going to sell for more than 1 ETH, I wouldn't have listed it at 1 ETH because, again, guys, I don't really know what I'm doing. And this is why it's a good opportunity for a lot of people to make money. So if we have a look at this project now, the floor price has come down a little bit over the last few days. It's 0.35. At one point, it got up to 0.6. And you can see that volume traded as well is insane. And I think some of the more expensive ones sold for 4 or 5 ETH. So going back to my activity then, you can see I've got a purchase here. So then, just like crazy, I've started selling these crazy lizards and Kongs at 0.3. So that is literally 10 times my investment on the lizards. And I think probably 6 times my investment on the Kongs. So even though I could have got more if I waited, Again, it's enabling me to reinvest that money, and I'm still in profit, so I can't really complain. A lot of them were undersold, and I understand that, but it was more important to me to get the ETH in to invest in other projects. So I've sold 3 there, so that's 0.9 ETH in the space of a few hours, and I was at work sort of questioning my life choices, really. And then we got these animetas, and I couldn't get these on mint because it was crazy. It was proper gas wars. And when you hear people talk about gas wars, essentially it's when loads of people are trying to buy something on the Ethereum blockchain at the same time, and it rises the gas prices. Now, if you're a whale and you can mint 25 of these at like 0.05 or something like that, you're going to pay, some of them are willing to pay the same amount in gas just to get that purchase through before everybody else, and it hikes the gas price right up, so no one else can really, you or I wouldn't be able to invest because we simply were not willing to spend 1 ETH on gas fees alone. So I couldn't buy it at launch, and I couldn't buy at floor price after launch because I didn't have the ETH, right? I didn't have enough. I could have minted it, I had enough, but I couldn't buy at floor price because it went straight into like 0.24 or something like that. But after making these sales, I knew this project had a great community. I knew that value would go up, so I made the risky investment of investing in that purchase. The same as with the Void Degen as well. Then I've purchased this Untamed Element because you can claim companions for them, and I knew that was coming up. So essentially I'll be able to mint another NFT, which I can do today. Actually, I could do it last night, but I've forgotten. And then we can see another sale come through. And then I purchased a ball and a block because I knew purchasing one of these would enable me to get early access to the Floyd Mayweather NFT, which I've done now. But also there was other perks a couple of weeks ago, and I regret not getting one because a lot of people managed to mint the bears on the block for free, and some of those are selling for ridiculous ETH as well now. And then we can see more sales coming through, 0.3, 0.3. I made another investment into Roboto, which was just at floor price, but is good rarity. And again, that ball on the block was a good rarity, and also the Amameta was a good rarity, a decent floor price at the time as well, or slightly over floor price. And then we can see then I've purchased this goblin because I was going to burn 2 to make a ghost, but then I decided against it. Then I've hiked my prices up now because they are selling and the floor price is coming up on these projects. So I've managed to sell one of these lizards. That's my second lizard to sell for essentially half an ETH, and that was 3 days ago. And then I brought a kitty. I brought this Wolfgang pup as well because he's got really good attributes, and that was at floor price. And then I brought this Fuku. And basically, these again, when they dropped on launch, they were cheap enough for me to mint, but there was gas wars, and I was simply pushed out of the market. I had the chance to buy one at 0.35, and I hesitated, but I used that ETH to invest into the Kongs, so it paid off for me to do that. But when I had the ETH building up and I was making sales, I went and got one of these in case they moon like the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Because if I'm able to sell this for 10 ETH in 2 weeks or something like that, then I really am winning. These guys I minted, and it was a mistake. The project I should have done more research into, and it nosedived almost instantly. You can see I've got early mints, and I've dropped these below mint cost just because I wanted to get that ETH back in my account before they were completely unsellable. And then you can see I sold a Kong here for 0.63. And then I've also brought one of these nice strips. I tried to get one on drop, and it was instantly minted 10k, so I got one at floor price. At the time there wasn't rarity tools for it, so it was worth floor price value, and it's not very rare, so I'm going to be holding on to that one for a while. But if that floor price comes up, then I'll potentially have made money on it. Then the Lazy Lions on Friday were minted, and I minted 24 of them. I went pretty crazy, and the reason why I did that is because if the floor price for them follows suit with the lizards and the Kongs, that is maybe 5-6 ETH I've made, so it was a bit of a punt. When I was minting them, people were dumping them on the market to create a floor value, right? And I seen this guy, And this guy straight away stuck out to me because of his attributes. He didn't have much going on, right? And sometimes with these projects, less is more. And if you went onto his properties, obviously it didn't pull through all of his properties at the time because they hadn't minted all 10,000 NFTs, so it hadn't actually calculated how rare his attributes were, right? But his evil eyes and obviously the spliff really stood out to me. So I managed to purchase that guy at 0.1 ETH. At this point, I have sold that same animeta I brought just 2 days earlier for 1 ETH. So that is a nice 0.61 profit in just 2 days. And I've minted some of these crypto cannabis club dudes, and I managed to sell one of those almost instantly before all 10k had been minted for 0.4 ETH. And then the dude that I brought for 0.1, I managed to sell for 1 ETH when I was asleep, to only wake up to realize all 10k had been minted, the rarity tools had adjusted, and he was the 13th most rare. So I reckon if we open this guy now, he's probably been resold or listed for something ridiculous. No, neither. Well, actually, it's probably still a good sale, but you can see now he's got 71 views and 2 favorites, and he is the 13th rarest lion. So still a good sell. It enabled me to do other stuff, but I learned valuable lessons of not to list things before the rarity tools come out, because if you've got something super rare, you don't, at the beginning, I think it is definitely worth listing your rare stuff to get ETH in to invest in other projects. But once you're stable and you've got that liquidity, don't do it. Just wait for the rarity tools to adjust. Maybe dump a few of your shit ones at floor price, but hold on to the really rare ones, because if any of these projects moon, you could be talking the difference of this selling for 1 ETH. If we look back to that Kong, I sold it for 1 ETH, and then 5 days later it sold for 4.2. So it's definitely worth, once you've got that capital, hold on to them. Let's go back then. I sold another one of these NFT token dudes for 0.12. I think they were 0.08 to mint. So I went back in and I got 4 more through the sale at these two. And then I've sold another Lonely Alien. And there was sort of, these dragons have been dropping off today. So again, guys, that totals to just under 9 ETH sold in 3 weeks. Okay, I have reinvested that into other NFTs, and right now I have 111 NFTs, right? So I started with 0.86 ETH, and yeah, I made a few mistakes. There's a few things I sold under mint price. There was some scams. I brought into some scams, guys, which we'll go over again in a minute. And I didn't want this to be a long video, but it's going to be a long video now. And right, so while we're here, I just want to show you. So if I go into offers, we can see how many have offers, and we can see sort of the value of if I was just to dump them on offers right now, right? So we've got these crypto cannabis club guys, and the floor price for these is rising. So if I click on this guy here, we can see that floor price is 0.51. So that's over double, I think, or almost double the mint price from the website. And we can see once that one sold as well, it jumps up to 0.74. So that's on low to high and buy now, right? And then once a few of those are sold, just 15, 20 of them are going to be sold, and then we're nearly at 0.2 ETH. And then also what we can do as well is we can check through this project. We can just click this here, we can go on view activity, and we can see what ones are sold and for how much money. So that one's nearly 1 ETH, half an ETH, 1.5 ETH. There is some serious money going through these projects right now. And if you go onto the roadmap for this project, which you can do just by going back here, sorry, let me go on collection, and then you can go onto their website, and then you can sort of go through all their roadmap. Now, all of these projects have sort of roadmaps and sort of what their plan is, okay? So do your research before you invest in any of these projects. Don't just ape in just because you see other people doing it, which is more or less what I do. But yeah, I'm not going to get into all of these projects individually now because I'm going to go over them in a separate video, but check out their roadmaps and stuff as well. So these are bot offers, and you know, bots are everywhere. It's not as easy as Atomic Hub for them here. Essentially what they do is put loads of really low ball offers in, and a lot of them do get accepted, and then they're able to flip them on the market. So guys, if you're getting bot offers, don't worry, it's a healthy sign. It shows you that your NFTs have value and bots are looking at them as well. Just because they are trying to make a flip and they want it to sell. Okay, so they are aiming for stuff that has value. So that is great. So we can see as well, these are the NFTs that I've got. Some of them have offers, some of them don't, some of them are listed for sale. Yeah, so that's basically where we're at in a nutshell, right? So now I'm going to show you how to identify new projects and also how I find out the information on the rarity as well. So first of all, we can check out NFT Catcher. So if you guys aren't using this website, it's great. It's got a really decent, up-to-date calendar on all the NFT drops, like all of them. Okay, all the chains. You can literally you can change what chain, what network, what currency you want it on. Okay, so if you want Wax, you switch it to Wax. If you want Ethereum, you switch it to Ethereum. It is pretty good. So we can go here, we can choose platform, we can choose Wax if we want to, or we can choose where's OpenSea? We can pick OpenSea, and then sort of we're looking at this one here. So it says mint price, right? And then today's date. I really love this one as well because it calculates to my local clock. So I know that if that's 4 p.m., that is actually 4 p.m. my time as well. So like here, we've got two that I want to look at. So the Pokemon Pokedex Classic Collection. And then also I'm going to look at this Smart Zombie Lab one, right? So I've opened these. So that's OpenSea. That's taking me straight to their OpenSea account. So these guys aren't doing mint on the website. They've just made them. They are, the 150 items are literally on their OpenSea account, and they will list them for sale later, and then people will be able to buy them. Potentially they go to auction. What I'm more interested in is this. So this is a website where we'll be able to mint NFTs, randomly generated ones, and potentially this might have potential to double or maybe even 10 times its mint. Who knows? I jumped in last night. I had to go to sleep because they were just dragging it out and it was longing out a little bit. But I got one fluff yesterday at 0.09, and this morning I woke up to find out the floor was 0.7. So GG's to everyone that managed to get 6 of them, but I only managed to get 1. I've listed it for 1.2 ETH. If it sells, I'm just going to reinvest that 1 ETH into another project next week. So these guys look pretty cool. First of all, I quite like the artwork. That's great. That's a good start. Our mint price is quite low, so 0.02 or even gas fees are some of the lowest I've seen. But 0.05 is a pretty good price. 0.1 is sort of where I sort of draw the line, unless it's a really decent project. But for something like this sort of artwork and stuff, I would say 0.05 is a good start. And then it says here, traits and scarcity. So it generated from 120 different attributes and traits, such as skin, hair, eyes, mouth, and clothing. And then we got the roadmap here. So Discord server, 10%. The Discord server will be boosted to tier 3 for those crucially important emojis. Just small things, right? Airdrop, 20%. 5 smart zombies will be airdropped to early adopters randomly. The lab, 50%. Work being created, the lab, an interactive 3D smart zombie lab with exclusive features for smart zombie owners. Merch store, 75%. You will know you love a bit of NFT merch, maybe a t-shirt with a cheeky slogan on, or to the moon hoodie, perhaps even a pink bikini. The possibilities are endless. 90% liquidity pool, so initiating a liquidity pool that gives the NFT series a trading floor price. That's a good thing for the whole smart zombie community. And then 100% companion NFTs. So these are cool trends right now. We would love to do another set of unique NFTs for SZ owners. Only pay gas. So I know if I buy 10 of these at 0.5, so half an ETH, it would cost me to get 10 of these. I know I'm going to get 10 companions if they sell out. So also that floor price as well is probably going to come up. If they completely sell out, a lot of people are going to miss out and they're still going to want those unique NFT companions. So they're going to purchase them and that floor price is going to go up. Also with the liquidity pool as well, it's going to drag that floor price up. So I've identified this as probably a project that I'm going to invest in later today. And I'm going to do a bit more research about that. So there we go. NFT Catcher, great source for new NFT projects. So the next one that I use quite a lot and everybody on the ETH NFT side uses is Rarity Tools. And where would we be without it, I hear you ask. So if we go on here and we find Bored Ape Yacht Club, for instance, you will see the most rarest listed first, right? So these guys, and you will see how much they're listed for if they are listed on OpenSea. And other information we've got here is the 7-day traded volume, so 19,000 ETH over 7 days. Total volume is 63,000 ETH, so just over 7 days, they've made up like 30% of that total volume, and the 7-day average price is 16.3 ETH, and there is 5,100 owners. 5,100 owners is very high. Usually when projects launch, it's like 1.2 to 2,000 owners because people are buying a lot of them, right? So yeah, if we go on here, we can sort it to low to high price. So the lowest one we can find right now are in auction. So we want to skip past all of the ones that say auction on them and then to this guy. So 14.5 ETH is the floor price right now. 14.2 is the floor price right now for these Bored Apes. And then also what we can do is we can search by recently listed as well, which then allow you to see how much they are and their rarity, which is a good tool that I use if I'm sort of trying to pick up an NFT of a project that's already been out and I'm looking for like sort of a long-term investment, which I've done with a lot. I've diversified now, so I'm starting to buy an NFT from sort of each of the major projects. Obviously I haven't got the Bored Ape Yacht Club yet or CryptoPunks, but they're sort of targets you can aspire to get to. That's essentially it. But also you have this upcoming here as well. So they've got all of these NFT randomly generated projects that are being released, and a lot of them probably will be trash and will not be worth anything. So I advise you to check out their socials, right? If something has a high amount of socials, and I'm gonna pick one out now that I really like, and is sort of a signal for you guys to check out. Here we go, right? So I really like this project, SSS Star Sailor Siblings, right? So if you check their Twitter, they have 6,000, okay? If you check this guy's Twitter, they got 1,200, right? So you got to think, if they've both got 10,000 NFTs to sell, and that one's at a higher floor price or a higher mint price than that one, how do you think the secondary market's going to react? Not everybody's going to be able to mint one of these because you can mint, say, 10 or 20, and there's 6,000 people that potentially want one. So check their socials, go into their Discord, chat with people, interact, and just see if you like the project as well. Check out their websites, check out their roadmaps, and do your own research. But I predict that this one will do very well on the secondary market, so it's well worth you guys having a look at. So the last thing I want to touch base on, I've identified sort of what I've been doing, my recent activity, and sort of a bit about OpenSea and how to mint as well. I just want to touch base on some of these scams. So there's been a few projects recently we've sort of hyped up. We always tell people to do their own research, but there's sort of a bit of a level for us where we want people to be able to invest in projects early because we want you guys to make a nice bit of profit, right? And we've managed to liquidate a lot of our wax assets and sort of invest in IDOs and IAOs and stuff like that, because we want to invest in the next big thing because we want to make some money, right? So us doing research into that, we're like, okay, let's start sort of sharing that information with people. But there's always that risk of it being a scam. So yeah, apologies, and we will not do that anymore. We are not gonna put any content out about any project that doesn't have in-depth information about team and can prove to us that they have game or physical things that they are working on. But on OpenSea, there are scams as well, the same as on Atomic Hub and stuff like that. So I just want to show you some to be careful for. And one is, if you go to purchase something on attributes, you can be on their official OpenSea account. Sometimes I'll search bundles because it works out better, especially if something's on the up and you can get, say, 10 of them based on 0.03 and the floor price is 0.035. It's best to get that bundle right. If I go on bundles, and there's only one, right? It pulls through on the official RumbleKong League page, but one of these NFTs could be a fake. So you need to physically go through and check each one, like, rigorously. You need to check, you need to scrutinize each NFT to make sure what you're buying is legitimate. Because just typing that into the rarity filter, it will pull through the actual NFT, so it will lead you into a false sense of security and you will feel that you're purchasing a real NFT. I know, because it happened to me and I was devastated. I thought I bought an extremely rare NFT when actually I just gave some scammer over $1,000. And yeah, it's sad. It's difficult. It's difficult to digest. And then obviously for the win, the floor tiled guys are invested sort of a few $100s and stuff like that. And then also another thing as well, when you're looking for collections, so if we say Lazy Lions, when you see on drop, a lot of them won't have their verification on drops, and we can see just under here there are imitation people as well. So you have to be very careful, because people will make these accounts as soon as these mint, and if you are not vigilant, you will potentially click on the wrong one and purchase something that isn't real. They don't actually have anything listed, but they tend to do it right around drop, so just be extremely cautious, guys, and make sure what you are buying is legitimate. There will be more videos around OpenSea and minting these randomly generated NFTs on Ethereum, and with the London hard fork as well, it should make these processes a little bit easier. The gas prices seem to be a little bit higher now minting NFTs and interacting with them, but hopefully it's going to put an end to these gas wars as well, and it's sort of first come first serve rather than who's got the biggest bank account. So guys, I know I've missed bits out and I know I lost you a bit there and I've ranted on, but hopefully this can get across to you the sort of core fundamentals about what I'm doing and how I've been making money. Yes, $28,000 worth of ETH has been through my sales over the last 3 weeks, but no, I haven't taken any of that out. I've reinvested it all into other NFT projects. At the end of this month, I plan to take 20% from each sale and put that separately, and then at the end of each month take that out as if it was a salary. If that is sustainable for the first few months and I'm still able to get in on these big projects and push towards getting that Bored Ape Yacht Club ape, then I will be winning at life. And it's fucking easy. Chat to the guys in the community, do your own research, check their socials, chat to people on their socials as well. So guys, if you haven't already, like and subscribe and hit that bell for the next video. Join our Discord if you haven't. There's mad giveaways every week. It's Sunday, so there's one to do. And yeah, as always, invest smart.